我们的机器人员工已经开始量产了。我们的机器人员工已经开始量产了。
Live. Welcome. You're watching on the Smart Money TV network on your TVs in Texas and Louisiana, as well as joining from around the world, streaming on wonderful platforms like YouTube and Rumble and Twitter or X and Instagram and all the rest. Very nice to see everybody this morning. We do have a packed show. We have a lot to talk about. Of course, the crypto markets are soaring. Let me see if they're still soaring here. I'm going to bring on the great Matt Dixon here very quickly today. Oh, yeah, we're still soaring. The crypto markets are soaring. And that is a lot of fun. Let me see here. Where is my... that can be a lot of fun for us, right? If you're in the market. Bitcoin took a pretty nice leg. You have, I wouldn't say of course we have over in the Middle East, everybody, it's not a laughing matter, actually. It's really horrible what's going on over there. It is horrible. They're bombing. It's just horrible to watch. It's just absolutely horrible. And there's no way to get around it. You have one side that is primarily targeting military installations. So Lebanon targeted a military event yesterday, and they got a bunch of the guys. And Israel responded and bombed a tent place, and you had kids burning alive. And it's just horrible, guys. It is horrible. I understand that they want to get people, but you can't keep burning mommies and children alive. They have lost the goodwill of the world, and that is for sure. It is what it is, So anyway, that is horrible, but the markets have gone pretty good. I think most people think that we're not going to see a big, or most people that are watching think that we're not going to see a big war with Iran at the moment. They're going to hold. The big reason they're going to hold is because the Biden and Kamala have told them, you can't have this big war before the election. And I know everybody thinks, no, Israel wants Trump to win, but Israel doesn't want Trump to win. If Trump wins, Trump has said repeatedly and tried to push the Abrams Accord, everything is for peace. They don't want peace. They don't want the Palestinians to have a state. And, they've told us our whole lives that Palestine doesn't even exist, right? So they put Israel in Palestine. And then they told us they don't exist. And then they tell you actually that all these guys, they just want to wipe us out. Well, they both want to wipe each other out. Israel doesn't want those places to exist. That's why they're doing it. So, but I think the word has gone out that they don't want a big war before the election. And that's it. And the central banking cartel, Israel, they want Kamala, Biden and Kamala, because they can continue doing all their stuff and pushing forward with the Greater Israel Project. And that's it. Trump is going to make them be a bit more fair and admit that Palestinian people actually exist So they don't want that. Anyway, let's talk about the markets. I have the great Matt Dixon here. Sir Matt, how are you?
Hey, good morning. Fine, thank you.
Amazing.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I got off to a bit. I had a few things I have to queue up. So after our market watch, I'll pick up on the other side. So I started off a bit late this morning.
Yeah.
But I did have a
nice.
great weekend. How about you?
Yeah, great, thank you. Really exciting. And everything went according to plan on the market. So
It sure
I'll
did.
just dive straight into that.
Should I close my longs?
Yeah, but basically you'll see, I'll just show this.
Yeah, I
just
know.
share the screen. Probably good to see, because sometimes I say something and I think it's absolutely clear and maybe people misunderstood what I said. And so I'll just go back to my, I trust you can see my screen. Just go back to my X feed.
Okay.
You can see that. So this was the chart I posted on Friday. Well, I can see the date, but it's Friday or Saturday anyway. I think it's Friday. Basically, I was saying, I'm hoping to see a continuation of the move higher in Sol, as it could provide some great selling opportunities, potential selling opportunities, etc. So this was here. You can see the level was 141.85. So I said I'm hoping to see a continuation of the move higher. So this was, we can check the date. 11th. When was that?
The 11th was Friday, right? Let me look.
Friday, yeah.
Friday, yep.
Yeah. So this was Friday where we're at. So over the weekend, I expected there to be a move up in Solana. Very clear here. Hoping to see a continuation of the move higher. I'm just re-emphasizing that because, as I say, I've had some feedback people saying crazy stuff. So I want to just prove.
Well, when you go on TV every day, you say a lot of stuff, right? People can interpret it all kinds of ways.
So that was Friday, 141, remember, on Solana. And today we see 152. I think right now it's actually sitting 153. So this is the same chart I had shown on Friday with the target here, 100% target, the E wave at 154 something. So you can see we're almost there. So when I said I'm hoping to see a continuation higher from 141, we're now $10 higher, in fact, $11 higher now from that 141. So it's absolutely nice move, absolutely according to plan. Now, I didn't trade it. I didn't trade the long side because what I'm actually waiting for is a potential short trade. So what I was waiting for was basically I measured the extent of this first wave higher here, transpose it to the bottom here, as you can see, and then the 100% projection gives us 154.46. Now, I will never wait for an exact 154.46, or it might achieve it. It could go past it no matter what. But what I will use is dollar cost averaging to, when we get close to it, I may start to phase some trades in. So a bit below, maybe if it goes through, some above. But I'm generally trying to build a position, not at an exact precise level, because we never know exactly precisely. This is the chances are high that we might reach this level and could turn even on this level, but I'm expecting, and what I think I'll do, I'll just scroll out. We're still on X, so I'll go to my my charts. So this is the same chart, basically, we can see here, where I'm expecting the move higher to this 100%, 154.46, exactly the same. But what I will do is scroll out and tell you what the bigger picture is, because shorter picture is gone absolutely according to plan. So we need to see what we're expecting for the next big move. So I'll just scroll out a little bit so we can see exactly what the plan is. So I believe that this is basically a triangle B wave, potentially, which itself is made up of A, B, C, D, E. And each of those waves is made up of 3 waves itself. So if you looked in shorter time frames, you'll actually see that 3 waves each. This one is very, very clear here. A, B, C for the B wave, very clear. And yeah, even this one's very clear as well. The C wave, A, B, C, very clear. Not so clear on some of the others, but again, if you break it down to shorter time frames, you will see that they're correct. They're 3 wave moves within the triangle. So a triangle, as we've said before on Friday, is a pre-terminal wave. So this was all planned in advance, a pre-terminal wave. When you get to the E wave, the pre-terminal is finished, and then you get the terminal wave, which is the final wave to the downside in this cycle. So what I was expecting was it will push up to this level here, which we are pushing towards 153.14 as we speak. So push up towards that level. And then I'm expecting, as I say, I'll phase into a number of cells. Maybe we go a bit above there. Who knows? The E wave is in fact the only wave of a triangle which is allowed to undershoot or overshoot the trend lines. So if we drew some trend lines in there, we'd see that, you know, the trend line is probably somewhere around 159 maybe, but it can undershoot that. So that's perfectly okay. Or it can overshoot it a bit, which is why we would dollar cost average. We'd spread our trades over a range of different levels just to try to make sure we get some exposure if it turned early, or we're not overexposed if it continues to move on late. So just building that position. So with it being a triangle, I'm expecting it's a big A wave here in blue and a B wave here in blue. So I'm expecting a C wave to the downside, which I would expect to take us below this A wave, which is 109.85, somewhere around that level, 109 something. So I would expect to go below that level. Now, I would expect it's likely that that will be in response, most probably, to maybe a shakeup in the Middle East. Now, I had just heard the very last bits of what you're talking about with Israel, about saying any actions could be delayed until after the election.
Yep.
So what date is the election? It's in November,
Election's
isn't it?
November 5th.
November 5th, yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember now, bonfire night. Yeah, Guy Fawkes, bonfire night, yeah. So we're not far away. Potentially it could drag on till then. I doubt it. Yeah, I'd just be surprised.
I don't think yeah, but who knows, right? Exactly.
Yeah, nobody knows. I do, you know, you can see Israel are basically fighting on all fronts now. So they are heavily stretched as well. So there's all sorts of things they'll bring into consideration. The fact they're stretched on all fronts. There's this fairly successful drone attack from Hezbollah. So that's going to make them think twice about, you know, are they more vulnerable than they thought? Because they were thinking they were invulnerable, they were indestructible, as it were. But now they probably start to think twice. Well, you know, Hezbollah got through with a bunch of drones, so maybe they're not quite as secure as they originally thought. So there'll be all sorts of thinking going on, and maybe the election is, you know, could be a big part of it. I don't know, but I just look from the chart perspective that I am expecting this is what's called. We've got an A wave down, which is the flag pole. We've got basically this flag waving in the wind, pushing a little bit higher, which is the what's called a bear flag. And then following the bear flag, you expect to break down to finish off the cycle. Mm-hmm. And once the cycle is complete, then I would expect there to be substantial moves to the upside, not just Solana, of course, but across the board. Interestingly, maybe the pressure is off just a little bit short term. Oil's down a bit today. It's down a couple of percent, which is fairly substantial. Yeah. So not quite sure what's behind that. We got some figures out on Friday, didn't we, out of the US, which were not that good. So it's surprising that the markets.
Well, and I do think, and the part about them holding off from till November 5th after the election is the powers that be know. And because I just say if you look at it, even though it does it's short, but it's not really short, right? In a war type situation. But at the same time, there's just no way that the US is going to get in a major altercation with Iran or something like that before the election. Like, it's pretty much like zero chance. And so the powers that be know that. And I think that's what you see in these parts of the market that kind of make you go question mark. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you know, I said that I'm expecting Solana to go higher over the weekend. I had no idea what could push it higher. Yeah. And people are asking, and I said, I think it's just market manipulation. But as you say, the powers that be at a higher level, if they're aware that there's going to be a delay in any action by Israel, then clearly there'll be room for the markets to go higher, even in the face of not such good news. I mean, they had news coming out Friday, even Thursday, higher inflation than expected, lower growth than expected. You know, you'd have thought these would be negative, but they're not at all. The market's just taken it in their stride. There's less and less chance of there being an interest rate reduction, another cut at the end of October. So that's another big question mark hanging over the market. I think the markets are still expecting a cut.
I think they.
Yeah,
the markets they're now talking a quarter, 25 basis point cut. So they've kind of moved that. I don't know. I'll tell you, inflation is out of control. I went shopping. I told my wife I went to the store, just got like the normal stuff, and everything was $1 more expensive.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
I mean, that's considerable. You're buying goods that are $10 or something, and on average maybe $10 or $20. Everything was $1 more expensive. Since like the last week that I went shopping, I just
I don't understand really how the figures come out. I mean, everybody is saying that the prices are shooting up dramatically, and even the figures themselves are saying that inflation is pushing higher, but not quite to level that people seem to be experiencing on the ground. And then we have seen energy pushing up, so that's probably going to push inflation up a little bit more even. So it's not looking good from an inflation perspective. So quite how they can cut rates, I don't know, but we'll see. As you say, the powers that be, they, I guess, understand what they're doing, but it's not what they're doing is not necessarily for the benefit of the ordinary people. As you say, the people who are having to go out and find the money for the extra shopping bill, etc. It can't be easy. It isn't easy. Yeah, so that's oil, but we have seen dollar index pushing higher. So that's kind of telling us that, that's reflecting the higher expectation. When I say higher, I mean higher for longer with interest rates. So maybe there's less and less pressure for a cut, I would say anyway. So if they don't cut, then clearly that's positive dollar, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. 103.06 now. People are expecting, there's a lot of people talking about.
Yeah, pretty big move from the bottom.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, just interesting. Our signal showed it precisely where we had. I'm not sure which time frame it was. Probably on the daily. I'll just move to daily just to have a quick look. Okay, yeah, it is the daily. So I'll have to draw the other line in just to show you. Here, so I've got to get them absolutely corresponding. That's perfect. So somewhere from there to there. So you can see here we got lower lows on the price and we got higher lows on the RSI, and that told us that there's going to be a rebound higher in price. This is basically regular bullish divergence, and we got that massive bullish move, didn't we? Here you can see the green candles. I mean, if I just expand that out, it's absolutely powerful. And not really what you'd expect just intuitively when we had an interest rate cut of 0.5%, and you see the dollar rallying like this, like crazy. So not absolutely intuitive, but if you followed the indicators, it was telling us there's going to be a reversal in price, precisely what happened here. What I'm surprised to see at the moment is that actually, as I said, as you say, as we can see for ourselves, the equity markets and the crypto markets are really strong. I mean, if I look at the S&P on futures at the moment, but again, massive push again, brand new all-time highs. Do you remember a few weeks ago, maybe even a few months ago, I said there's a target of 6,000. My target of 6,000 perhaps on the S&P. A lot of people are laughing at me, deriding me, saying, impossible, never will get anywhere near 6,000 by election time or something. Well, it's now beginning to look very possible. We're now 5,815. It's looking very, very possible. 6,000 would be a strong, powerful psychological level. So we may see a turnaround from there, and it may be, maybe it's after the election. But this is powerful movement from all the risk assets, really. I mean, even Ethereum has got a bit of a pump. But again, Ethereum, this looks very, very corrective. If you look at it, there's no impulsive move to the upside. It's all overlapping here. So again, this could be a triangle. We could have an A, B, C, D, E, which I suspect we have. So I think very soon we will see. This actually looks very like a triangle. It's probably clearer. In general, it's clearer than Bitcoin. Sorry, Solana, we looked at the triangle, didn't we? So again, it looks like a corrective A wave, a corrective B wave, corrective C wave. We'd have to break this down for the D, and then E is definitely an ABC for the E wave, and then you'd expect a breakdown. So I think that's coming soon. So despite all the signs that you're getting, I think there's going to be something happen before the election. I know there'll be an awful lot of pressure for it not to happen. America we'll perhaps try not to get involved. I don't know, but I just suspect it's going to happen sooner rather than later. Triangles can't continue forever. It may turn out not to be a triangle, I guess, but we'll see. We definitely need to be very, very careful about taking long positions. It looks like now we are potentially going to push a bit higher for the SPX. So I say maybe towards 6,000, but we're getting close to levels that I think we should start to DCA selling. Not financial advice. Certainly, I'm talking dollar cost average. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. But I think we should probably be looking towards the short side on the markets. We've seen, I think I've still got it here. Let me just see dollar yen. So dollar yen again is pushing, towards that fifth wave to the upside. So I said it's A, B, C, and the C wave is made up of 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're pushing up on the fifth wave. So maybe we've got somewhat higher to go, but then we should get a strong push down. So remember, dollar yen is a really good proxy for risk. So when dollar yen comes down, it means money's piling into the yen, in fact, and the dollar is falling then against the yen. But the yen is the real risk trade. So when it's risk, when people are basically prepared to take risk in the market, the dollar yen goes higher. When risk is coming off the table and people are getting worried, then the yen strengthens, and you see this chart come down sharply. So it is a clear ABC, I believe, and I think we're going to see a big move down relatively soon. So that's why longer term I'm bearish, short term it's mixed to higher, I guess. Even gold pushing again. It's almost, we keep saying gold is a great bet because on multiple time frames, whether short, medium or long term, we can even see the movement from the top is an ABC down. It's not in 5 waves, it's in 3 waves. 3 waves is corrective, and so we expect to push to new all-time highs, and that's precisely what's happening. We're very, very close again to another new all-time high. So if you follow Bruce's guidance in the shows from over a year ago, talking about how bullish he was on gold and precious metals, well, you've done very, very well there, because it continues to push. And even on longer time frames, it's looking bullish. I won't go into that right now, but it's looking very, very bullish. I don't think we've actually looked at Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's about to touch 65,000, which is a really, really powerful move. So again, it's still potentially an ABC higher. It's hard to say, but either way, even if you count it as 5 waves, if I go back to shorter time frame, I'll just go on to shorter time frame, the 4 hour here. Potentially, even if we're working on a 5 wave move higher, there will at some point be a pullback from that. I still think that this is all still corrective, so I'm still expecting a turnaround sometime soon. It doesn't have to be Israel, maybe it's something else, I don't know, but I'm expecting a turnaround just looking at the charts. And as we say, the charts often tell us something is happening or going to happen before it actually happens. So I can't tell you what it is that's going to happen, but the charts are telling me that we're pushing towards a turnaround in the markets where we're going to turn lower again for a while. So that's where we're at. The pound dollar, again, I actually had some positions here. I don't often trade FX, but I did have some positions and basically cashed out of the pound because I was expecting it to fall further, and that's precisely what's happening. So the pound is a good proxy for risk as well. And normally when the pound goes down against the dollar, normally that's negative risk assets. So this is what often happens. I talk about timing, as you're probably aware, to the community are aware. My big study was about, it's called efficient market hypothesis. And it's basically what I was looking for is exceptions to that efficient market hypothesis. So exceptions which you can trade for profit effectively. They're called exceptions, or they're called inefficiencies in the market. And if you can find inefficiencies, it means you can use them to trade for profit. So I think there's inefficiencies in particular aspects of timing in the market. And I mentioned this on numerous weekends. As we run into a weekend, if we have a strong run in one particular direction, the weekend often takes it in the opposite direction. And then shortly after the weekend, usually by Tuesday, Monday evening or Tuesday, the market then turns around and goes in the opposite direction. These are based on timing and on flow of capital. So they're very independent of these indicators that people rely on so much, which in general have no predictive value whatsoever. Most indicators, the ones that I'm showing you, like I show you divergence indicators, they're pretty powerful. So anyway, that's it needs to be a short day for me. Unfortunately, I've got to head away to a meeting. I'm already late. So
yeah, I was thinking about that.
Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, look forward to tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers. Great Matt Dixon with the Market Watch Report here on the Impact Money Show. It is always a pleasure to have Matt. It is world-class analysis that we get here on the show, guys. And if you follow our signals, if you follow what we're talking about, you will make good trades. Not financial advice and all that jazz. I'm supposed to say we're not financial advisors. We're just guys going out there doing it. So here we are at 26 minutes in the show. I want to talk about something. Can you see that? Can you see that? Let me. Well, look at that. Anyway, you can't see it good enough. So listen, guys. I don't know if you've taken ivermectin before or not, but ivermectin is a very good. It is a very good. Very effective. So ivermectin, I'm about to put out this post out here. So I'll tell you what, I'll share my screen as we're doing that, just so I can talk about it. Now, ivermectin, as you know, as you may or may not know, I went around the world and I, during COVID, and I talked about, I talked about a lot of things, but I went around the world and I did all kinds of stuff during COVID, and I ended up getting COVID a lot. I got it a lot. Okay. I got it at least 10 times. Ivermectin is a Nobel Prize winning medicine and most effective for parasitic infection and COVID. I should put a little eye thing here, right? Let's do it. And COVID. Okay. Let's do an eye. There we go. Look at that. Look. Here's a site if you need it. It's buymedpill.com, from where you can buy ivermectin, HCQ, which is hydroxychloroquine, which is also effective, and fenbendazole, whatever that stuff is. I'm not familiar with that, without a prescription. Okay, and then I have the link here that should autofill video. I'll put video here. Okay, because sometimes it goes away. Direct link to buy is right here. Let me just boom, boom. Yes. Okay. And I'll post that. All right. So, first I took hydroxychloroquine because that was the only thing I knew about, right? And so there's other ways to do it too. Like there was one time I was over in some country somewhere, and I didn't have anything, and I read online. My sister, I have my family, number of my family members are in the medical field, and she said, "Look, why don't you boil grapefruit peels and this and that?" And she had a concoction, and that did work. But ivermectin, more than anything, ivermectin, this stuff will knock it out. Okay, I mean, this is total, as my doctor would say. Well, Bruce, what does he tell me? Bruce, that's anecdotal. Bruce, that's anecdotal. So this is completely anecdotal. Okay? Is that cool? It's anecdotal, guys. Completely anecdotal. No. They give it to horses, okay? They give it to everything, and you can order it from this place that I just talked about, that I just posted online. It is here, buymedpill.com. And from what I understand, they have a lot of other people that like to compete with them and everything else. And so there's going to be people under my post that are going to say this and that and the other. But don't listen to them. I don't know them. I mean, you can listen to them if you want. I don't know them. I don't have a partnership with them. I obviously have a partnership with these guys. And I know that they sent me the stuff. Okay? They sent me the stuff. And I have, I've used it quite a bit, and it's also, and I'm not promising anything. I think I've made that quite clear, right? It's totally anecdotal, all these things. All right, but cancer. I also have a family member that has been taking. They had cancer and have been taking it now for a year. One in the morning and one at night, and it's amazing. Yeah, like I said, it's anecdotal, right? So, but stuff wasn't working before he started taking it, and then he started taking it, and now it's working. All right, it's getting better. Okay, whatever. It's cheap. Okay, it's about $100 or something like that for 100 pills. And check them out. So that is my post for that. I might talk about them again, but ivermectin is well out there and it's tested and everything else. And these guys do deliver. I know you always wonder, where do I get it from? Buymedpill.com. You can buy ivermectin, HTQ, fenbenzolol, whatever that stuff is, without a prescription. Okay. All right. So that is that is what I'm going to say about that. You do what you want with it, but there's the information, and that's where to get your hydroxychloroquine. And at least they sent it to me. All right. They sent it to me, and they have the site there. And like I said, there'll be some other people that post below this, and they'll try to get your business. I don't know them. Maybe they're great. I have no idea. Okay. I have no idea. So I also wanted to talk about, there's a fun, let's see here. Now this is going to be, let me make sure I have all my P's and Q's lined up. I don't. Okay. So I also want to talk about everybody's, do you guys, okay. So did you notice now, of course, you have Trump is launching a token. Trump is launching a token on Tuesday. I'd like to know what you guys think about that. Personally, I don't think it's the greatest move. But hey, what do I know? I do know that there's a lot of different fun meme coins and other different tokens that have been launched that are doing pretty well around the whole around the whole thing. One of them is Memeland Presents. Hold on here. Is that right? Ha! One-man show. One of them is a token by Memeland, and it's launching on Wednesday. It's a fun, lovable meme token. It comes with a web game that you can play right now in exchange for tokens. So I had my kids. I said, okay, well, there's a game. Let me check this out. Okay, and I had my kids play the game. I got a quick video of that, and they loved it. You know how kids are, right? Hold on here. So you can play it on your computer or your phone. And here is my my youngest here. She's, oh, Dad, let me play it. Well, actually, you can hear her even talking about it here. At the stage. Trump meme. Here we go.
Doing pretty good here.
Thank you. This is my first time playing on a computer. Oh my God, go.
Pretty cool, huh?
Doing pretty good here.
Thank you. This is my first time playing on a computer. Oh my God, go.
So they're launching on Wednesday. And they have they say, let's see here. Actually, I'll pull them up here. Trump meme. TrumpMeme.net is the website. TrumpMeme.net. You have to, this is the contract address right here. You have to put in, here, let me just, TrumpMeme.net. This is the contract address right here. And you have to put in your Ethereum address in order, a Ethereum address, in order to play the game. Okay. So if you try to play the game without the address, it says no. And then they say that they're going to play the game and earn points in exchange 1-to-1 for tokens after the deadline. The end time is in 3 days, 3 hours, and you can check that out. So I'm gonna boom, 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 boom. 33 minutes. Ha. So you never know with these things, guys. These are highly speculative. These are highly speculative assets. Never play with more than you can lose. They can be a lot of fun. They can do a lot of interesting things. I've made a lot of money with them. I've also lost money with them. So, but they're fun. But if you go over to the website over here, trumpmeme.net, check them out. Memeland presents the Trump meme. Okay, they have the game there that I just showed you. The Trump meme is a bold and humorous meme coin that merges the iconic persona of Trump with the viral power of meme. Built on the blockchain, Trump meme embodies the spirit of entertainment, freedom, and financial empowerment. Join the community that isn't afraid to laugh, trade, and profit from the most meme-worthy moments in modern history. I really do like the games, and actually, it's one of the things that I am working on integrating into projects now. I really like these games, guys. These games are really important because they give a use, and the kids are playing games. I don't know if you have kids. I mean, I always tell my kids to get off those things, but kids play games. When I was a kid, I remember, there were 6 of us, right? And so we would play the game, but then you would end up arguing with each other. And so my dad one day, he took the Nintendo and he tossed it across the room, and it landed right in the trash can. And that was it. And we didn't have it anymore, and we were fine. So I always remember that. This is their, they have their tokenomics here, right here. Okay, this is, again, it's launching on Wednesday. All right, tokenomics. They have the liquidity here, 73% for the liquidity. I'm assuming that's going to be locked. I'll have them confirm. 13% marketing, 4% Binance launch pool, 10% for the airdrop. They have a roadmap right here as well. How to buy. Phase 1, launch token on decentralized exchange. That's what they're going to do on Wednesday, from what I understand. Social media campaign, which I'm a part of that, obviously, with this partnership. I have a partnership with them. Social media campaigns and meme contests, community engagement and growth initiatives. And that's some of the stuff they're doing on their X feed as well. You can look at that X feed. Their X is Trump Meme X. Trump Meme X is their thing. Their at Trump Meme X. Community engagement and growth. Phase 2, expansion and partnership. Strategic partnership with influencers and meme creators. Okay, and I can tell you that is what they're doing, and they're putting their money where the mouth is. A lot of times what these guys will do is they'll say, hey, we want to work with you, and we're going to give you some of the tokens. We're going to give you some of our tokens, okay? And that sounds good because you're like, all right, well, hey, we're going to advertise and this thing's going to go up. But you have to be careful because what they can do a lot of times is it's not like Bitcoin and they'll freeze the tokens or something. And if you're a guy like me, it's happened to the best of us. You think, okay, it's going to be fine, and then it's not fine. This thing appears to be taking up some of my resources here, so I'm going to close some tabs. Listing on major exchanges, introduction of exclusive Trump meme NFTs. That is an important money maker. Okay, introduction of an exclusive Trump NFTs. Okay, phase 3, global domination. They say global market campaigns, expansion of the Trump meme ecosystem, integration of Trump meme in real world applications. So if they pull this stuff off, this could be pretty fun. And who doesn't like a Trump meme? Everyone loves a Trump meme. So that's Trump trumpmeme.net. Make sure to check them out. We're going to be following along. Of course, the launch is on Wednesday at about 9 a.m. I think either 9 or 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, if I read their thing correctly. So Trump meme. Did I put that out? Okay. It is launching. They are launching. All right. So that can be a lot of fun. It can, it can also be this, that, and the other, right? Trump meme. It's the Trump meme. Now, Trump is launching his token tomorrow. As far as I saw on that, 20% for the team and stuff like that. Those are pretty massive. I wouldn't bet anything against Trump. I would not bet anything against. It's like betting against Elon Musk. Don't bet against that guy. Okay, it's not smart. Don't bet against that guy. I don't know if I'll jump in at the beginning or not. We'll see. I may get some at the beginning, just to make sure I don't miss out. There's a lot of money behind it. I don't know what my feelings are about him launching a token, 20 days before election, but whatever. Yeah. Anyway, we have an election to win, right? But whatever. That's what he's doing. And I don't think he's intricately involved in it. There's obviously a team of guys that are doing it, right? So that's the deal. So that's what they're going to do. So the title of today's show is from, no, where is that? I lost it. Oh, here we go. I want to make sure I touch on everything here that I'm supposed to touch on. It's not there. I'll tell you what, AI is, and the robots are really just taking over, right? I actually put out a post the other day from Networks Manager. I said, how long until, here we go. Look at this. How long until the guys are like, screw this girl that doesn't listen, doesn't do what I want her to do. I'm just going to go play with my robot. Pimps are going to have these walking the streets in no time, I said.
Through that system, you can connect the AI that you've created in the app to the robot and carry on the conversation with her that way. Once you've got that loaded and you hit chat, she just comes to life.
Good, you came back so fast, baby. I'm glad you came back that fast. Wow, baby, 10 minutes without you seems like an eternity.
Through that system.
I think the future is just going to be pretty weird, honestly. But there's definitely guys are going to have, if they don't already, they're going to have girlfriends like that. They're going to think, why am I putting up with this girl? I'm just going to get this one. Jonathan Hokanson says, I'll put this back up on the screen here. This is the end of humanity. He says, this is the end of humanity as we know it. 60 years ago, a pill released. The woman's from chains in honor of motherhood, hereby freeing them from the historical dependency on men. The results being catastrophic. The technology will free men from their dependence on women for female companionship in all forms. Poorly at first, but eventually it will surpass flesh and blood of many women functions. The results will be beyond catastrophic. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, brother. This is how it looks now, but it's not going to take long until it looks better than your girlfriend. Your girlfriend, not my girlfriend, maybe, but the future of dating, I said. You see here, this is just this girl says she wants a 6 foot tall, 6-pack abs and 6 figures. She's sitting there, just, whoa, she wants it. And the guy's like, all right, whatever, I got my robot. I don't know, guys. Commentary of the time, right? Who knows? Pretty interesting. I do still like X. How about you guys? So they changed the algorithm of how people get paid on X. So that's going to be interesting to see how that rolled out. The last change they made in the algorithm, it basically made it not worth even focusing on producing anything because it was so it just made it so unprofitable. So yeah, all good stuff here. I do want to play. I also want to play, I talked about, so one of the things I remember now on the, I can look right here actually, and I can get my title because I know I was going to talk about the central banking cartel, of course. The new frontier of conflict, AI, robots, crypto, and the central banking cartel in modern warfare. Bitcoin soars, another assassination attempt on Trump, or maybe not. The FBI says Vem Miller wasn't trying to get Trump. Is he an FBI asset? Well, that's a really good question. I mean, so this guy, Vem Miller, he gets caught by the local police going into the sneaking into the thing, right? And so he gets caught, and he's got a shotgun. And they say unregistered shotgun and some other guns or whatever. It just means he didn't buy it recently from a store or whatever. Who knows? Maybe it was a new gun. I have no idea. But anyway, the local police picks him up, this guy, and he's out of jail in like literally, he doesn't even spend overnight in jail. He doesn't even spend overnight in jail. He just goes to jail, and they let him go on a $5,000 bond. So a $5,000 bond. Now, I can tell you that a $5,000 bond is like, it's like nothing. Like nothing. Like $5,000 bond, you put up your 10 or 20% or whatever you do to the bail bondsman. All right, maybe it's 25%. I don't really know. And you're out. I mean, it's chump change. It's like nothing. It's like nothing. So what that tells me is that he was a federal agent. That's what I think. He was a federal agent. He was out of jail in hours. He didn't even spend the night. The FBI apparently told them, no, they must have told him he was one of our guys. I mean, what else could they have told the local police in order to have him released so quickly? Right? Here he is right here. Here's the guy. I mean, he looks like a Fed. Right? Here he is. He went around taking pictures with everybody, I guess. He's an asset. If he's not an agent, he's an asset. I mean, it is. Yeah, I said those darn Iranians again, just like before I even kind of dug in. And before I realized that they let him out of jail, they literally, they took him to the jail and they let him out. And the FBI says he wasn't trying to kill Trump. Well, what in the world was he going into the rally with the shotgun and other guns, apparently? So it is exactly like we had the guy on January 6th, and he was, causing all the problems, telling people to come in. What was that? What was that guy's name? What was his name? Big tall guy. whatever his name was, Ray Epps. It's like Ray Epps, right? So Ray Epps, he's like there telling everyone we got to go in the Capitol, everything else. People are there, millions of people are there to peacefully protest, and you got Ray Epps telling everybody to go in, and he gets like nothing. He gets like I don't even think he got a probation or something, right? Meanwhile, people who did nothing didn't even walk in, I believe, from what I understand. But if they did walk in, of course, they're sitting in jail rotting away. So this guy Vem Miller, I can pretty much say the Vem Miller is a Fed. And so then the next question is, do you trust the FBI? And I think most everybody does not trust the FBI, right? So what was Vem Miller doing there with the shotgun? Was he there to take out Trump? What do you think? I think very high probability, right? Very high probability. He got caught by the local police and he's released. So just the fact that he was released on a $5,000 bail and he didn't even have to spend the night in jail, I think we can all agree he's a Fed. End of story. And so then the question becomes, what in the world are these guys doing? What are they doing? And do you think Trump elects? I hope Trump isn't assassinated, and I hope he gets elected. But I am not optimistic. I think the central bank wants to take him out. Israel wants to take him out. The central bank and Israel, I mean, those are the two guys that JFK took on. He took on the American Zionist Council, which is now AIPAC, and the central bank, and he didn't last very long. So I don't, here's the other part about it, and I talk about it sometimes on the show, and that is that the Federal Reserve, which is the central banking cartel, they own all of our money and everything, right? And they pay the salaries of Congress and the president and everybody. They're the ones who pay them. And the more money that they front to pay everybody, because they're out of control in Congress and in Washington, here in Washington, paying, whatever they want, sending money everywhere. But the more money that they use, the more money is put on the national debt. And then the amount to service the national debt is always the federal income tax. Always. It's always the same amount. No one ever talks about it except me. I've never heard anybody else talk about it. But the amount of money that is owed on the national debt is always the amount of money, or the interest, not the amount that's owed, but the interest on it is the amount that's brought in federal income tax. And since the national debt is skyrocketing because these guys can't stop spending money like drunken sailors, then taxes have to go up. And Trump's out there saying he's going to cut taxes. He's going to make his other tax cuts permanent. He's going to stop taxing this. He's going to stop taxing that. He's going to stop taxing this. Well, I don't know. We'll see, guys. I hope so. I'm voting for him. I support him. We talk about him on the show all the time. But I don't know. And then, like I said, Israel, everybody says, oh, no. The Jews love him. They love him. But it's not true. The Jews are actually voting in 75% overwhelmingly against him. And Israel doesn't want him either. And it's like I said, the reason they don't want him is because he's a fair dude. He's a fair guy. And as much as everybody's been brainwashed over here that Palestine never existed, and the Palestinians aren't a real people, they are real. Yesterday, when Israel bombed the tents, Those were real kids burning alive. They're real. They are real. They're real people. And Trump has always pretty much supported a two-state solution. How do you just say that people don't exist, steal their homes, take their land, and then you just have to kill them, I guess, which is apparently their MO over there. Or push off the refugees to the US and Europe, the ones that they don't kill. Don't even get me started on that star. So they don't want him. Israel doesn't want him, guys. And so that's why, and they keep trying to blame it on Iran. Iran's trying to kill the president. Iran's not trying to kill the president. Trump. They're not trying to. Every time they have an assassination attempt, it's like some Caucasian looking guy. I mean, it's crazy. And then they come back and they say, "Oh, it's Iran was behind it." Iran was behind it. What are you talking about? There is no way that we are going to have any type of peace over there without everybody having some representation, unless you just kill them all. And if you're going to kill all those women and kids and everything else, guys, I'll tell you what, that's the wrong way to go. And it won't work in the end. It won't work. And that's why the entire world pretty much is turned against Israel. And to be honest, I don't like talking about it. But just like in 2016 when Trump ran, you have to talk about it. You have to talk about it. Or else, what are you doing in this life? Like, you just have to be honest. Stop killing the babies and moms. If there's some bad guys in the tent cities, then you got to go in and get them. You can't just blow up all the kids and the moms and the grandmas. Burn them alive. Iran, when they attacked Israel, they attacked military installations. Hezbollah yesterday attacked a military meeting. They assassinated the Israel's chief of staff and a bunch of other military guys. And Israel responded by bombing a tent city full of babies and moms. And then, they have their military on X and on all these platforms. So when you talk about it, they go under, oh, well, don't hide your weapons among the women. Mossad is in the middle of the population, okay? So everybody does it. Number one. Number two, because there may be bad guys hiding weapons, it doesn't give you the right to blow up babies and moms. Stop the killing. Stop it. I actually do not think that they will last. I give this current state of Israel that's been started by the central banking cartel, the Rothschild started it. I give it 10 years max. And I hope that we can save as many lives as possible before it goes down in flames, because that is where it's going. Anyway, all right. That's all I have on that. I am running out of time myself. I wanted to mention my good friends over at Sulky the dog, Soul Key. Sulky the dog is scraping across the bottom. As people trade the asset. Highly speculative markets, guys. But the purple dog is very lovable. Sulky is the unofficial purple Solana dog, taking Solana by storm. It's a purely fun-driven Solana token, aiming to become the top dog on the blockchain. Join the Sulky squad for a crypto adventure filled together with laughter and good vibes, because in our world, joy is the best currency. Sulky. It's Sulky. He's such a good boy. Sulky. Great community. Great people. They're pushing it. This was a community takeover. It popped up to over 200,000 as we became involved. It did retrace not all of it, but it retraced, and it's probably at a pretty good position now, but highly speculative and all that good stuff, not financial advice. But we do have a lot of fun with it, and they're having they're doing great stuff. So probably we will see, as they take my direction or as they take my advice, some new things coming out. But these things can have major moves, so a lot of fun. All right, that is it for me today, my friends. I will be back on your TV in about 5 hours and streaming again live around the world tomorrow. Cheers.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.